10 years ago, a film called Mud, starring Matthew McConaughey, came out, and this is one of the earlier films of the McConaissance. So let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Almost Sideways, a place for movie conversation. My name is Adam. Today's conversation should be a rather fun one, and that is talking about a McConaissance film called Mud, starring Matthew McConaughey. Really excited to dive into this movie. I've never seen this. First time watch. Keep that in mind. First time watch of Mud. Now, not a huge film that a lot of people are talking about, but I do remember seeing this poster and wanting to watch this movie for a long time. So I found this at a relatively I think at a pawn shop, and I wanted to talk about it. So I was like, let's take a look at this. This movie is directed and written by Jeff Nichols. I've never seen this movie before again, so make sure you guys jump into that comment section. Let me know what you guys thought of Mud. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube as well, so we can have a good, fun conversation talking about all things movies. Anyway, let's jump into this conversation of Mud. This movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It's PG-13. The synopsis here on IMDb does read, 2 young boys encounter a fugitive and form a pact to help him evade the vigilantes that are on his trail and to reunite him with his true love. Going into this movie, I don't know what I really expected from this. I did not read any synopsis, didn't watch any trailers. I just know the poster and off the Blu-ray, and it's Matthew McConaughey. So he has earned my trust a little bit, especially during this earlier phases of the McConaissance. And I had recently just done another first time watch last year called Killer Joe. Very dark movie. Really go check that one out. Really great little film there. But anyway, wanting to watch this movie. So I didn't really know who was in this movie. So when the different familiar faces that popped up, I was like, oh, that guy's in it. This guy's in it. First off, this movie stars some really good actors here. We have Matthew McConaughey leading this movie as Mud, but we have Tye Sheridan, a young Tye Sheridan, who plays a 14-year-old boy named Ellis here. Really awesome performance by Tye Sheridan. Never seen him better, actually. Jacob Laughlin plays his friend Neckbone. We got Sam Shepard shows up. We got Reece Witherspoon shows up here. We got Ray McKenna. We got Sarah Paulson. Michael Shannon shows up in this movie. And I've not seen anybody else, but again, really great actors there. If those actors don't say indie film, I don't know what to tell you there. Being a film so early on in the McConaissance, and Matthew McConaughey being the big focal point on the poster, and the title is based off his character, is the reason why I'm saying you guys should go watch this movie. But that's not the case at all. He's good and really good actor there, but I'm telling you, go watch this movie for a young Tye Sheridan. He is so awesome in this movie. I've never seen this guy any better. He plays this, like I said, 14-year-old boy named Ellis who befriends Mud here and kind of forms a pact with him, and has his friend named Neckbone, but Neckbone, great name. And I love seeing the interactions between Ellis and Neckbone here. Really good. But there's so much going on with Ellis's character here. He didn't just form a bond with Mud here. He also has to deal with the relationship of his parents that are falling apart at home. He has this really awesome interactions with Michael Shannon here. He befriends the neighbor across the street, or across the water, that because they live on the river, across the river, played by Sam Shepard. Seeing all these different interactions, and as he has those realizations that Mud's a fugitive, and he's asking these tougher questions at that point, and he also meets a girl as well, and he wants the people who have feelings for each other to be together. And he is so expressive with his eyes, and a lot of that innocence comes out in it, but it also kind of I'm spacing on the word, but kind of adolescence comes out in his eyes too, where he's always questioning something, and you always know that how he's responding is not really what he's thinking. And I feel like that's just a really great way. You find a great actor with great emotions, and that he emotes with his eyes just by his facial movements is such a fascinating way to tell this story. And I feel like draws you more into the character, and have you how would you react in those situations, and seeing him interact with Mud and really get to the bottom of emotions at the very end of the film. It's definitely engaging film, and especially his performance is by far one of my favorite child performances that I've seen in a long time. Matthew McConaughey does a really great job bringing this charisma. He's very charismatic in this role. He doesn't have a ton to do. It's like one of his best performances in the Connaissance, but he is just doing his thing, going by being really charismatic. It befriends these two boys and tells this really great story. And he has a really kind of a good redemption arc near the end of the movie. I feel like that movie it gets a little actiony in near the end, but it still kind of fits the world that Jeff Nichols does tell here. Reece Witherspoon is here, but again, they'll really you're paying attention to Tye Sheridan and Matthew McConaughey. Okay, here these performances are really solid and kind of worth the price of admission. I really like the world that Jeff Nichols does set up here. It's very simple sets, kind of good like it's a kind of perfect pairing with Inside Llewyn Davis, kind of like that. You could play Inside Llewyn Davis songs over the top of this movie, and it would kind of play perfectly. I just talked about Inside Llewyn Davis on another episode, so make sure you guys check out the review right above my head there. Really solid little film here. I don't really have anything negative to say. I just think that the ending kind of gets away from it a little bit and feels a little larger than it actually should be. There is a kind of a young romance that does blossom in here, and it kind of I feel bad for Tye Sheridan and a lot of the emotional moments here. And it's just really solid, really good movie that I really got invested a lot more than I thought I would. Let's go into that box office. The budget for the movie is $10 million. Didn't have a huge budget, but it had a worldwide gross of $32.6 million. Another good profit margin there. And let's jump into those awards. No Oscar love for this movie. Didn't think it would necessarily. Let's see what it gets nominated for. The Cannes Film Festival did nominate it for the Palme d'Or for Jeff Nichols here. Best foreign film for the ASCAN was nominated there. Austin Film Critics Association gave this 7th place for best film, nominated Jeff Nichols as well. Actor of the Year for the Central Ohio Film Critics, for Actor of the Year for Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club and The Wolf of Wall Street. This is also tied into the mud as well. And yeah, not a whole lot of nominations, or there's a lot of nominations. I don't know enough wins there, but solid movie there that I'm glad I definitely did watch. It is not as flashy as other films that I have reviewed here, but let me know in your comment section down below what you guys thought of Mud. Please like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube. We are definitely trying to grow our channel out here, so anything would help. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name is Adam. Until the next time, I'll see you in the next video.